Hello everyone, I'm glad to have you with me and welcome once again back to my videos. I'm trying to keep you informed because I am redirecting some of my focus on my website and in my business to focus directly on anxiety and depression right now. And then we're going to be going into grief issues, but probably a little bit later because I'm still kind of processing some grief. But I can definitely go through anxiety and depression with you and help you along the way. If you'd like to go to my website at JenineMarie.com, you'll notice that I have a new program that's developing, but I also have hourly sessions that you can book, individual types of sessions at a time, just to see how you do with those before you go into the program. You'll also notice that I have a blog that's beginning to develop on my website, and it's very easy to find. All you have to do is go up to the tab that says blog, and there it is. Now, you're going to notice that it's got a black background and white writing, and right now I'm trying to change that and find out how to change that. I'd like it to go along with the theme, but for right now, it's a little bit opposite. It's still black and white, right? Okay. Today's video, I'm going to talk about sweating. How wonderful, huh? Sweating. Oh my goodness. You know, there are a lot of reasons why a body will sweat. One is because we have physical exertion. The body will secrete sweat in order to cool it down, correct? Whether we're a cross-country runner or whether we're just running down the block, this body is going to efficiently cool itself down. Another reason would be the body has a fever. Immediately when the body has some kind of illness or disease that it needs to, or it feels like it needs to attack or combat, all of these little white blood cells start to go into the bloodstream, and the fever is triggered. And once the fever comes up, in order to keep it down, the body starts to sweat, and that helps to cool the body down while it's going through the fever in order to attack. You know, this is motion, this is energy, this is what's going on in your body to attack an illness. And boy, we know about that in the days of COVID, correct? So, and it's been going on forever. You know, this is the way our body's made, not just during COVID. I mean, this is our body. It's how we very miraculously work, and I think it's amazing. But that's just me. I love knowledge, and so everything to me is cool, you know? So there is another reason besides fever and besides exertion, and that is anxiety. Go figure. Anxiety happens, or a panic attack might happen, because something either is triggering the fight or flight conditioning in your body, because there's an actual emergency. And it's telling us that we need to either stand up, you know, to whatever is attacking us or whatever's threatening us, because we can take this thing, or we're going to turn around and run. And the body starts to prepare itself for that. And because this is something that's been ingrained in us since humanity began, and we don't always have those things that happen, and we're not cavemen and cavewomen anymore, the fight or flight conditioning or syndrome is still there in our body. It's not going to leave. But now, more subconsciously, it could be a little bit more covert and sneak up on us, and we might end up sweating. Now, let me just tell you, in order to emphasize this, there's a mosquito that's buzzing me. I'm sorry. Anyway, I met a man, this has been quite some time now, quite a long time ago, who had served in Vietnam. And he was back from Vietnam and his tour of duty. And the problem that he came to me with, and he had gone to doctors, he had gone to psychologists, believe me, and he asked me, and you know, I'm really young at this time, I don't know what I'm doing, but he asked me, he's like, why am I sweating? Do you have any idea why I sweat so much? and what would happen, he would tell me, well, I don't exactly smell, but I sweat, which is, what kind of conversation is this to strike up with someone? There goes my air conditioning. How nice. That's body's air conditioning, right? Sweating. So anyway, no matter what would happen, I mean, he could be completely calm, just sitting there watching TV as he explained it, and he would just start to sweat. And, he couldn't figure out exactly what it was, whether he was exposed to the chemical Agent Orange during his tour of duty in Vietnam. He had discussed this with his medical professional. It wasn't determined that that was exactly it, but his body just sweat. And so he constantly ended up changing or covering himself up in order to cover up what he felt was very embarrassing. So, as we discussed it a little bit more, I kind of thought, well, could it be anxiety? Could it be something that's being triggered in you as a subconscious memory, and all of a sudden it just triggers the fight or flight syndrome, and all of a sudden you start to sweat because that's what you did when you were in Vietnam. And lo and behold, yes, that's exactly what it was, and that's something that he had to deal with later on. So I've said all of this to let you know that if you're going through this, sweating is a part of an anxiety attack or a panic attack. It happens because of the fight or flight syndrome is being triggered. Emotions happen, hormones are secreted and neurotransmitters are released. The body thinks it has something that it needs to stand up to, or, the human being. And we think that there's an enemy in front of us that we can see with our natural eyes, but it's an enemy that we cannot see. It's something that's hiding in our subconscious, and it's telling us that we need to either run from it or we need to fight it. And we don't need to do either, because it is not real. It's fear, but we don't have really a conscious awareness of that fear. It's just the body believes somehow it's kind of in overdrive, and it believes somehow that we have something that we need to cool down about. Maybe we're a hothead. Maybe the body is signaling something intuitively. You're sweating because you've been doing a lot of exerting. Maybe you're, finding yourself a little bit unnerved more than usual, and you find yourself maybe exploding emotionally, or exploding physically, or through your mouth. And so physically your body is also responding, both subconsciously and consciously, and you are actually forming and formatting your brain, just like, excuse me, I'm changing hands. You are reformatting your brain just like we reformat our computer. So in order to counteract this is my theory, we need to reformat the brain. Number one, it's very, very beneficial to find out subconsciously exactly what's going on and what is triggering this response. It could be a nervous response. You could be having a panic attack. Maybe you're having heart flutters that are going with it. Your palms get sweaty. Your body is preparing itself to run. You want to run. But I want to prepare you to face it, because if we don't face what's triggering the anxiety, we're never going to heal it and stop it. Knowledge is power. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. So once you discover why something is happening, what's beneath the surface of it, or maybe I should say above the surface and in the energy field, what is it that you're picking up that's causing you to respond? Maybe it's something that's similar, that you might have experienced before, and so it's triggering you and you don't even realize it. It can even be someone's voice, and all of a sudden you start to sweat because your body feels threatened by the sound or tone of that voice, because it reminds you subconsciously of one that you had heard before that you felt threatened by. I hope that this is making some sense. If you're going through anxiety, or maybe you're just sweating like this man, I mean, he really didn't have any other issues, he just sweat. If this is happening to you, this could very well be, if there's no other physical problem with you and you have gone to your doctor, you've gone to see your clinical therapist, it could be the fight or flight syndrome that's being triggered in your body, and your body is telling you that it needs to cool down from running, you know, the running thoughts, the racing thoughts that could be even subconsciously triggered, and you don't even know why. The reason we bring those things up and bring them out is so that once they're revealed in the mirror, we have the image of them. Once they're heard and focused and vocalized upon, you know, focused upon and vocalized, let me put it that way, then it's out there. You can't unknow what you already know, so you can deal with it and begin to heal it. And so there are many different techniques once you start to maybe hear someone's voice, once you start to see someone who looks like someone that might have attacked you. I mean, there are a lot of different scenarios that could be triggering you. So let's find out what those are. That's what I'm saying. Let's find out what those are. And so once we do, we can work on reconditioning you and reprogramming you. I think that mosquito got me, that's terrible. And helping rewire your brain so that you don't trigger yourself the same way, or it doesn't trigger you, because, you know, it's kind of an unconscious thing that happens, and it's not your fault. This is what I want to really emphasize more than anything else. It's not your fault. What your body is doing is, it's what it's meant to do. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's just doing it at a time that it's very inconvenient and not needed any longer. So let's reprogram. Let's get the party started, okay? That's what I want to say, because it is a celebration when you overcome something that you never even realized you had to overcome. It's amazing, isn't it? It's very, very illuminating and awakening. Once you awaken a part of you that you never were able to release because there was this subconscious fear that was holding you down, it's a wonderful thing. Once the light is shining on something, there's obviously no darkness left. Darkness is exposed, and light will overcome the darkness any time of the day, any day of the week, any time in your life. It was said of Jesus that no darkness lived in him. It's because he knew and understood the elements and the way the universe works. He understood about darkness and light. He understood about consciously creating. He understood about the subconscious mind, obviously, because any time that I bring more light into something that was in darkness, it's revealed, and then it can be healed. So remember that if you don't take away anything else with this video, is that once it's revealed, it can be healed. Anything is possible. Don't give up on yourself. So if you're sweating and you don't know why, let's check it out. If you've tried everything else, what do you have to lose, right? So with all of that, I just want to leave you with maybe those things to think about and consider. And I'm going to get away from this mosquito because it's driving me crazy. I don't like mosquitoes very much. Not much. So anyway, I am just going to finish this. You're going to be happy to know that over there in the corner by my door, I actually ordered some lighting with a stand, a new one, excuse me. This one has one, but this one that I ordered is a little bit taller. And you won't have the wiggle woggle with my phone anymore when I do a video. So I will be happy, you will be happy, we'll all be happy. That's the main focus. Let's get some evolution going in our lives and let's evolve as people. Awaken, O sleeper. Am I quoting the Bible again? I think so. Why not? It's Friday the 13th. Why not quote the Bible? Because, you know, it's a cool book. I mean, I think that there are a lot of things about it that could be expanded on and expelled upon. You know, kind of like maybe expounded. That's the word. It's late. It's late in the afternoon and I'm hungry. I'm not sweating though, so that's a good thing. You know, it's a real good thing. I am wishing you a wonderful Friday the 13th, if that's when you're viewing this. If it isn't, I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. I'm wishing you healing and hope and peace and serenity. I'm wishing and hoping for you the rewiring of your brain and the neural pathways of your brain so that you can function the way that you're meant to function with no threat in front of you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you, and I'm just drawing up a little energy. Okay, and what is that? And just put your hand on it and feel the energy come your way. And release. Take a deep breath in. Hold. And relax and release. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And I'm so loving you from here. Until the next time. Bye-bye.